Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Travel Cuba series. We're still with the Jeep Safari at this point, and we're driving west of the city of Matanzas towards the village of Mena and Rancho Gaviota. This here is Campamento Bautista. I did try to research it, I could not find much information about it, but as far as I understand, it is some sort of a camp for students. And this here is the village of Mena. And the Jeep Safari is not stopping anywhere in between. We're heading straight towards Rancho Gaviota. In case you have not seen the previous episodes of this series, this is not a safari and we're driving SUVs, not Jeeps. And we stop different locations. In this case, we're going to Rancho Gaviota here. This is where we're gonna have our lunch. What this is, it's a farm. It's a Cuban farm. By now, the government allows them some ownership. They don't own 100% of the land or 100% of the farm, but they still own a certain portion of it. I'm not sure the percentage what it is. So they had animals. They grow their own vegetables. So when you get their food from their restaurant, it's usually stuff they've grown on their own. And at this point, the road is not paved, but even before that, there was sections without much pavement. And the first stop was like right here. There's a big parking lot, and then we go out to taste some fruits, and there were chickens running around as well. We took pictures of them. The chickens were fun to watch. I think they were going between the people looking for food. But the options that you have at the ranch, you can ride a horse, or you can even ride a bull for a very short walk. Somebody would lead the bull. The walk with the horses is short as well. We didn't do any of that. Like, we decided to just walk around and see the food. I did like the food. It's traditional Cuban food. My wife didn't like it. You can order so you can order certain drinks. You can order extra food as well. If you don't like it, I don't think my wife liked anything. There's alcohol you can drink. So this is the driver in our car. The other driver from the other couple, he had some drinks, so he didn't drive anymore during the day. So this is like the halfway point where we switched. He was driving all the way up there, and then I drove on the way back. So he had some drinks. You can have alcohol there if you have somebody else driving. The food, again, it's probably different every time, but it is typical traditional Cuban food. And lunch is included in the trip, so it's free, but if you want anything extra, then you have to pay for it. What this is here, it's a little house. It's kind of like a museum showing how farmers used to live back in the days. So they have like a little museum within the farm, and this is where we spent most of our time. We didn't actually go to take the horse rides or the bull ride. And at the time, they did offer freshly brewed coffee for free, and also You could walk around outside that museum house. And there are washrooms on the farm, but they were not very clean, just so you know. They had this animal in a cage outside, and they didn't have any sign or anything to say what it is. I did my research, and I believe this is Cuban hutia. They can grow to 60 centimeters in length and can weigh as much as 8.5 kilos. And apparently they are abundant in Guantanamo province and particularly around the Guantanamo Bay naval base. So this is my wife here in front of the museum house testing one of their chairs. And this is actually the couple that we shared our SUV with. And this is still in front of the little museum house. And this here is our SUV, and of course Elmo was with us the whole time. This sheep here was very friendly. It would let you pet it, and it was actually seeking your attention. Okay, so we have a door open.
Right?
It was a back door or the trunk if you wish. So here on the right are the horses. So this is the horse ride that you can take. And now on the left you can see the bull that you can ride on a short walk just along this road. And technically here we're still on the farm, but this is pretty much as much off-roading as you would get on this trip. As I previously mentioned in previous episodes, I did see some comments on TripAdvisor. People were expecting that there would be off-roading on this trip. There isn't much of that. And yes, the SUVs are very clunky, and you're about to see why. Here on the right is the place with the chickens where we stopped earlier. And these SUVs are pretty small. I'm 6 feet tall, and I couldn't push the seat as far back as I would like to because there wasn't much space in the back, so it wasn't very comfortable driving. And this is actually a paved road. We are driving right next to it because the pavement is so broken that it is better to drive on the side of the road. But this is how it is, and this is why the SUVs are so clunky. Also, the people that you see waving at us, it took us some time to realize, but they were hoping that we would stop and give them something. I'm guessing they're hoping for some Western goods or even money, if you can give them that. The kids would be very happy with chocolates, but we had already given our chocolates to the tour guide lady.
So what I find very weirdly is that they drive fast in this very bad road, and when we go on the highway, they drive 60. Instead of speeding up where we can, they drive fast here.
And that was me complaining about the road and them driving too fast. And that is probably another thing that adds up to the planking of the SUVs. And by the way, this was the village of Mena again. We passed by on our way back to Matanzas. From here, we are going to Cueva de Saturno. This is a cave with a lake inside, or a pool if you wish, and we are going to swim in there. And it is uncomfortable driving so fast on this road, this small SUV. You can see how far ahead they are trying to catch up. A like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. And click that notification button, that will notify you anytime we upload awesome videos like this one. And this is a Belarus tractor. This is what roads are like in rural Cuba. And yes, the speed limit is 60, and for the most part, they were doing 60 through this horrible road. Anyways, with this, I'm going to wrap it up for today. Thank you very much for spending the time. Again, in the next episode, we are going to Cueva de Saturno. We're gonna swim in the cave there, and after that we're only gonna have one more episode of the Travel Cuba series before we wrap up the whole series. Thank you very much again, and I hope I'll see you next time in Cueva de Saturno. Goodbye.